Hi, this is Becky with Icing on Top Becky's Cakes, and today we're going to do the butterfly bash cake. This one is a lot of fun. It's definitely tween inspired and got those fun metallic sprinkles on from Sweetapolita, and that adds a lot of bling to the cake and a lot of fun for really any kids or kids at heart. I really like this one.
Now I use the Sweetapolita sprinkles, which is why you have those lovely metallic colors. I just love them. They taste good and they're also amazing. I mean, look at those sprinkles. But first we're gonna start with our sketch. Now it's as easy as a 1, 2, 3, these 3 steps. We're gonna use the Techo 124 tip for the wings and then a large round writing tip for right up the center. And I'm gonna use a toothpick first to draw on the direction I want my butterfly going in. And then I'm gonna start with the step 1, which is the little circular wings in the back. And the reason I say circular is because I'm just going to pivot my wrist all the way around as I pipe, starting right on our line, and then I'm just going to go around in a circle, kind of pivoting my wrist in, and I'm keeping the narrow end of the tip facing out. And then I pull it up as I finish that one wing. Now, in order to get the angle of the other side of the ring, I'm gonna have to turn my wrist around to the other direction so that the narrow end is still out as I pipe around and make the second little circle. And then just pull in as I release the pressure on my piping bag. And now I'm gonna do the top part of the wing, which is gonna overlap these circles by a little bit. We're gonna go straight out this time and then curve around, pivoting our wrist and coming back in. Again with the narrow tip on the outside. So I released the pressure entirely and then I pivoted my wrist to make sure that that narrow end stays on the outside and then just pull it in. So you can see in the middle you're gonna have that little line there. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side of the wing and pipe it straight out, release the pressure, pivot our wrist around, and then start piping on back. I also did an identical butterfly on the back, only I made it a little smaller. This one I'm also going to have a trail of those beads, and that makes it kind of fun on the front. But up the center of this, I'm going to use my purple, but you can use whatever color you want your butterfly, and I'm going to pipe first for the head and let it build. Let me see if my camera focus is there. It builds a little for the head, and then I'm going to stripe right down the body. And then I use some tweezers to place on those sprinkles exactly where I want it. And if your buttercream has started to crust before and you realize that it's a little dry, I just dab it in some fresh buttercream. And that's what I do with any of my sprinkles. Always just dab it in some fresh buttercream and then stick it right on the cake. So the buttercream acts as your glue. So buttercream makes a great glue for any kind of sprinkles or any design that's light enough that won't fall off. So sprinkles are light enough that they won't fall off. So I'm getting my fresh buttercream ready here, and I just dab it in a little bit of that fresh buttercream and I stick it right on the cake. Now you can draw out ahead of time with a toothpick exactly where you want your line to be, or you can just freehand this part. You've probably seen me do the multicolored buttercream before, and that's when I just pipe 2 strips or however many strips, depending on how many colors I want, right onto some plastic wrap. And then I just roll it like a burrito, twist the end, and then cut open the other end and put that directly into my piping bag with my piping tip on there. And that's how I always do several colors of buttercream if I'm not just color striping straight into the bag, and this gives me more even colors for both sides. Now I'm using a large open star tip. This one's in a Techo one, and I'm also going to have a bunch of these sprinkles on hand so I can sprinkle it as soon as I'm done. And I'm just doing the E motion. If you see it on my piping practice sheets, This is the same kind of thing, the E motion that we practice on those practice sheets, except for with a much larger tip than the little star tip that I use there. And I think this E motion with a large star tip really makes a very bold border around the top, and you can go much smaller if you don't want quite as bold a border, but this is a lot of fun if you're really looking at a tween kind of inspired cake that I was doing with this, and then with the Sweetapolita sprinkles on top, it really just makes it a fun cake. Now if you wanted more colors, you could just stripe more lines in your plastic wrap. Just make sure the lines are thinner so that they all squeeze through at the same time. Then we're going to add our sprinkles, and that will be our fun butterfly birthday bash cake, and I just love it. This was great. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. Thanks for watching.